It's 935 K-Days Morning Show with your boy Romeo. You know how I do, man. I hold it down every morning from 6 to 11. And every now and then someone very special tends to come visit and come hang out. Jordin Sparks is in the building. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm buzzing.
Oh, I love this. Well, your record is buzzing.
Thank you.
You know, we're going to talk about that. Then I want to go back and talk about the history. But
All the
before
things.
we start this interview, look, I know you act. I know you sing. You're an entrepreneur. I didn't know you told jokes, too. She got jokes. Are you going to do some stand-up, too?
When I see it, I kind of try and call it, but I think I'm funny.
Well, you are. You got the whole room laughing.
I remember in, I think it was during lockdown. I think I got funnier during lockdown because, we couldn't do anything but laugh, right?
That's it.
To keep from crying.
I mean, we had to spend that extra time with our significant other that
Exactly.
normally we wouldn't have that kind of time to do it.
Exactly.
But, yeah, you got to do something to get by.
Do you remember, babe, when I said that? I was like, I think I got funnier since we've been in here. I think I'm funny sometimes, but I mean, who knows? I guess I got to leave it to other people to tell me if I'm funny or not.
Well, we're going to put you up on the stage and have you go ahead and deal with the hecklers and all that. But before we do that, let's talk about this new single, which I heard and had no idea till you told me them joints.
Yes, the
Bless
one and
the
only.
track. This dude, what he's done over the years, I don't think he gets enough credit for the things that he's done.
I agree.
But
I
he's
agree.
amazing.
He's incredible. It was, we first worked together on my third album, Right Here, Right Now. He did the title track. And I remember meeting him. He was so fun. He had his big old fro out. And he's just a ball of energy. And we didn't get to collaborate after that day. And so my hubby was like, hey, let's call Joints for this next project. And let's see, if we can create something. And it was really fun getting to know him, and I feel like I found my person who just understands me in terms of like creating music, and he pushed me to do different things, and he's like an alien. The sounds that he comes up with and the way that he'll throw a note out and I'm like, oh, I can sing that, or I'll sing something to him and he gets it. So we understand each other like that, but he's so talented. K-pop, hip-hop, R&B, pop, he does it all, and it's just really unique too. Like every time you hear it, there's always something a little bit left, and I appreciate that.
And I feel like some artists like to be, they feel comfortable in this box, but he brings you out of that. Like them joints brings the best out of you.
Yes, he definitely did, and I'm really grateful. The album, how many did? 9.
Sheesh.
9 songs, and they're all so good.
Them joints got them joints for real.
Shout
for
out
real.
to them joints. I love you. I love you.
So remember, let's talk about how it came about. Obviously, when I heard the track, I'm like, okay, she has to be a Michael Jackson fan. There's just got to be some kind of connection there, right?
Yeah.
We all love MJ. Like, he's one of the
Yes.
greatest to ever do it. So I hear the record, and I even love the way it started off because it was kind of so, I was like, what's up with the beginning of it? But I like that. Whose idea was that?
That was joints.
Really?
That was joints. Well, so initially it started off, there are 2 producers on it, 300 Cam and Dem Joints. And we heard the track at first, and we were really, really excited about it because obviously, Michael, we hear it, and you just get so excited.
Yes.
And so we started writing the song, and we were like, how can we, at first it was the actual sample, like it was Michael's voice. We were like, how can we do this to where it's not just taking it and just slapping it in there,
Right.
So Jones was like, well, let me see what I can do with it. And then he just did his thing,
Yeah.
And when we were writing it was myself, this amazing songwriter named Rin Nicole, and another amazing songwriter named Jamal Anthony. And we all got together and just were so inspired by the track. And then Joints put his spin on it, and now here we are. So it just was one of those things where everything aligned and everything worked. But it wouldn't have happened without each one of the people who worked on it. So shout out to all of you. I appreciate you and I love you. And we have a lot more work to do. So
Well, it sounds like when you heard the record, there was an instant connection. You were like,
Yes.
yo, this is me.
Yes. Yes. And Remember the Time is one of my favorite Michael songs anyway. So as soon as I heard it, like I just sat up and I was like, what can we do with this? We have to do this one. Because we were listening through a whole bunch of different songs to kind of see, or tracks to kind of see. And that one just stood out immediately. And it still stands out.
Well,
so
it's speaking
good.
for itself. #1 out the box. Shouts out to what you've done already
Thank
with
you.
that record. So let's go back. Let's go back to 2007. American Idol, right?
All the way back. Let's go
let's go all the way back. So, like, you win this, and for some people, they would consider this probably one of the highest moments of my life because I accomplished this on American Idol. We know the history of that show.
Yeah.
But I feel like obviously before that you were born to star because you have so many different talents.
Thank you.
Throughout your career, let's
Yeah.
go from 2007 to now. What
Okay.
is that? 17 years, I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, if we're counting.
Yeah. Who's counting though? During that time, has there ever been a point where you were like, you know what, I've done enough, I'm good? Like, you know, based on, because you know how the public could be, how you can be
Yeah,
frustrated
of
putting out
course.
projects. You ever had a moment where you're like, I'm good, or you just can't never turn it off?
I think the answer is twofold. So
Okay.
there's been an I'm good on the industry part
Yeah.
of things.
Oh, okay.
I'll never say I'm good on singing. Ever, 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 ever. I have
Thank
to
you.
do that. That's in my bones. It doesn't matter if anybody's listening. I sing all the time, all day long. In the shower, it doesn't matter if it's for my son or 3 people, a small theater, a stadium. I have to do it.
Yeah.
And so I think that will never stop. I do think the like craziness of having to keep up with everything, and you know the landscape's always changing, and trying to figure out now this new landscape with social media and how that has changed everything. You know, there's just a lot of different things. It's more the politics of it that get really annoying. It just gets in the
Yeah.
way of the creative, and it gets in the way of just being able to get the amazing stuff out that we create. So I think that's the thing that I've said I'm good on multiple times.
Yeah,
I said,
agreed,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
good on this. But I know my purpose, and I know I'm supposed to be here using my voice to bring joy to people, to heal people, to make people feel things.
Yeah.
You know, feel like they're flying, you know, reminisce on a high school crush, their first kiss, or a song that, you know, was their favorite with their brother or sister, you know, things like that. And I know that's what I'm supposed to be doing, so I can't stop.
Well, first of all, I'm glad you said the fact that you were born to sing and you love to do it. That's
Yeah.
that's your outlet. Because for me, my wife's always on me. Why are you always singing in the shower? Because I love to sing as well.
Yeah, the acoustics are great in there too.
Yeah, come on now.
Yeah.
You can sound bad, still sound good.
Everything's open up, the steam is in there. It's a perfect place to sing. I feel
It's
you.
definitely the perfect place. So Jordin Sparks hanging out with the K-Day Morning Show with your boy Romeo, and you know we're talking about throughout your career and things that you've accomplished. You know, doing things on stage, live, the
Yeah.
musical,
Yeah.
also doing movies. Do you love being in the studio more, creating in that moment, or being on stage delivering it?
It's hard. If you would have asked me this 6 years ago, I would have said stage for sure.
Okay.
100%, which it still is. But the last couple years, a lot of music has just poured out of me, stuff that I didn't realize was, you know, being pent up, and stuff that I didn't realize I had to say. And I really, really love to write. I've written poetry since I was really young. And it wasn't until I was older that I realized that music is just poetry with, you know, a melody.
Yeah, exactly.
So I really, really enjoy that part, and creating something from nothing is really cool too. And also just being able to be collaborative with other people, and all of a sudden somebody throws out an idea and it's something that you would have never thought of, and you're just like, that is, yes, let's go that way. So
Yeah.
I love the collaborative part of it. But being on stage is where everything goes like this for me. Like
Okay.
all the puzzle pieces go together.
Comes together, yeah.
I know that I'm supposed to be right there. And when I can make that connection with somebody in the crowd, and you know, see them, and I can actually see what I'm singing and what I'm conveying, and the emotions I'm putting out are affecting them. It's the most beautiful thing.
Yeah, it
And
is.
I know that's what I'm supposed to be doing. So I'm very blessed that my passion and my purpose are the same thing.
Yeah, it comes together and it
Yeah.
just creates magic.
Yeah.
And you talked about collaborating. So obviously you've done some things with people, whether it's producing, singing songs with people, which brings me to the No Air.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
The one and only.
The one and only.
The one and only.
So you're there watching my man doing his thing, and
Yes.
you're just there having a good time minding your business.
Yeah.
The song comes on. But how do you feel when people, like, are you one that reads the comments and read all into that?
I read them, yeah. I mean, not all of them.
Right.
There were so many I was not expecting that. But yeah,
Yeah.
I read some of them, yeah.
You know, because, you know, I try to stay away from it because, you know, when we post things or I do certain events, I try not to really read it because it's just like, look, some people just ain't got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
But I mean, you were there having a great time enjoying the show. There was nothing planned for you to be up there. But when you see people going in and out, does it make you say, maybe he should have called me up there? Or are you like, no, I'm good?
I mean, it's his show. He can do whatever he wants.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I have no like feelings about it. I had the best time. And what you see in that video was literally me just, it still blows my mind that the song really affects people like that. The entire arena.
Yeah.
The entire arena was singing. And I've never been in the crowd when I get to sing that myself. So
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
standing there with everybody singing it all these years later it was cosmic. It was just like, wow, I can't believe that I'm still it still affects people in this way, and people still love it so much. So I loved it, and the show was incredible. So I got to just enjoy myself and then have that moment. It was really beautiful.
I'm glad you put it like that, because normally when you're making that magic happen, you're outside the bubble, but you were in it.
Yeah.
So you got a
I'm
chance
usually
to
at
see
the
emotions.
There's a when you're on the stage, it's different than when you're on the floor. So it's like being there with them, with my fans, and knowing that they still love and appreciate the song. It was really amazing. I mean, they were Chris's fans, obviously, but they love the song as well. So I'm just really blown away that all these years later, people still love it and they still sing it at the top of their lungs. I was standing there like,
word for word. You can't deny a record that hits and resonates like that. And that record definitely did that.
Yeah, I'm
so
grateful.
Are you missing anyone on your wish list, whether you would love to maybe collab with in the studio or even do a song with?
I actually did get to do a collaboration with Sean Stockman from Boyz II Men.
That's my guy.
And
I'm about to go see him in Vegas. That's my guy. Yeah,
he's awesome. All of them are awesome. And that session was really, really cool. I mean, my dad, that was one of his favorite groups, and so I grew up listening to them. And so to be able to be in the studio with him and he grabbed the guitar and was like, "What about something like this?" And I was just sitting there with my jaw on the floor like, you're really sitting here right now. But he's super, super kind, so talented. His voice is incredible. The song is called What Are We Doing? And it's interesting because there's not a lot of songs about second chances or rekindling something that maybe was lost before. And so we were sitting there talking, and it just became this thing. So the song is called What Are We Doing? Like, I think we deserve a second chance. Can we try, But he sounds incredible. I got to do my collab with the one and only T-Pain.
What up, T-Pain?
Yes.
You mean you got him away from gaming long enough to go ahead and do? No, I'm just kidding.
No, he definitely was doing all that when we were was starting. But I really appreciate him. He's so talented, and we're kind of in this same boat in like being independent now after being signed to a label and figuring out that part. He is absolutely killing it, and his music is amazing. But the song is really fun. It's upbeat. It's definitely reminiscent of like those times when music was a little bit happier, I guess. If that makes sense.
No, it does.
So it's really, really fun. So I got to work with him, so that I got to check that off my bucket list. I definitely want to work with some women too. So I want to work with Victoria. I think it would be really fun. Victoria Monet, it would be really fun to do just a really pretty song together. So we're gonna see what that'll be.
We're gonna put that out there. All right.
And then let me think. I mean, I'm kind of open to all genres and all things. So, like, I've always been a big fan of Blake Shelton. He's a country artist. So I would love to do something with him one day. I wish Jack's Mannequin and something corporate. I think they still play, but they're like an alternative band that I used to listen to when I was younger, and I would love to do something with them. So
I love that.
there's a lot of different places and people and ideas, and I'm always open to collaborate with other people as well, like artists coming up, things like that. So I just love to sing. So as long as it's a good song and it makes sense, like I'm always down to do it.
You're so full of energy, and like just joyfulness just comes out of you, right? I sit here and wonder, what is your fear? Because to me, when you're on that stage, you crush. When you're in the studio, you hear your records.
Thank you.
But people may not know, is there a fear? Is there a moment where you're like, oh, you're hesitant? Or
is there a fear? I think my fear is forgetting the words to the national anthem.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is the fear.
Yo, come on now. We already know how that can go.
Yeah, so anything else, like if I'm doing my own songs on stage, if I mess up, I'm the type of person I'll be like, hold on, we're going to start that over.
Yeah.
And I'll start it over. But the anthem, you get one shot. That
you only
1
get
minute,
one shot.
The 2 minutes, exactly. The 2 minutes that you're standing there to do it and to do it right. And so I always get nervous before I sing the anthems. Like I'm like I have to go to the bathroom. I'm scared. I'm sweating. And then he's like, babe, you do this all the time. I'm like, I know, but this could be the one. This could be the time that I forget. So So that is definitely a fear in terms of performing. And I think the other thing is just I always pray for peace and protection and safety over my family. So, I never want anything to, not that we can control those things, but I think, getting that phone call and being
could be
really and the unexpected phone call really is definitely a fear. But in terms of performing, the anthem one, and then I guess my pants ripping, that would be That would be embarrassing, I think.
Told y'all she got
I
jokes.
think my pants ripping would definitely be one. But
You have to
other
figure
than
out how to
that-
play it off. You know what I'm saying?
or wig coming off. That too.
Oh.
But then again, like, you know, if Aretha can rip her wig off and wave it around,
There
you
you
know,
go.
There's worse.
Make a moment
there's
out
worse
of it.
things. Yeah, there's worse things, I guess.
Perfect example. My manager, Silas, over here, right? I did a national anthem at the Clippers game about a year ago. And for me, I've done it probably 20 or 30 times.
Yeah.
But my biggest fear is when they're standing there and they nod their head and you're like, please do not. Just if I can get through the first line,
Exactly.
then I know I'm there. But if
Yeah.
something happens then, because we've seen it go bad real quick,
Yes.
obviously.
Yes. Well, and I usually do anthems a cappella, so I don't have any
Me too,
music and
yeah.
I don't have anything that starts the key. So something that also scares me is starting in the wrong key because it gets so high at the top. And
Yeah.
I've done that before. I was like,
Ooh.
it still sounded okay, but it wasn't as, I guess, easy as it would be if I would have started in a different key.
Did
so
you stay natural or did you go falsetto at some point because you started so high?
Oh, I tried to push myself. You know, I tried to push myself, but I've learned now that I can just, you know, if it goes there, I'll just go false. But so I'm always going standing there right before because I'm waiting for them to nod, and
Yeah.
you know, it's loud and everybody's clapping, and I'm like trying to make sure I have the note.
You have no idea what she's going through in that moment. You have no idea.
Yes, well, and we usually have our in-ears, right? And, you know, we're either standing in the tunnel where the players come out, like they'll keep us there. They keep us like right on the side. And, you know, people are like, Jordin, 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 but I have my ears in so that I can't hear them, but I'm so I might look like I'm
Yeah,
just
they're
standing
looking
there
like-
like,
Is she all right?
I'm just standing there like this. Nobody can hear me doing it, but I can hear me doing it. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is really weird. But yeah, that's a moment every single time before I perform. So now you know.
Yeah.
If you see me singing the anthem, that's what I'm doing. I'm not trying to ignore you. I'm trying to keep the note in my head.
Let her stay focused. Give her that moment, all right?
Yeah.
Holler at her when she's done. Okay, Jordin Sparks, last
Yes.
name Sparks.
Yes.
And I love going through the hallways. We have so many great, amazing people at our sister stations. And I would say, look, she's coming in today. What question would you want to ask? And she came up with an amazing question. What's her name, Angie A?
Irene.
Irene came up with this
okay.
amazing question. She said, look, her name is Jordin Sparks. So ask her if someone ever came to her saying, look, what would you say to that person if they say, I've lost my spark?
Oh, yeah.
Like my light has gone dim. What would you say to someone that came to you saying, how can I get my spark back? What inspiration would you give them?
Spark back. That is a great
Oh, she hit me with that. I was
question.
like, I was kind of hating.
Dang, that's a great
But
question.
I got to give her credit. I thought that was amazing.
I don't think I've ever been asked that before. But
See?
it's
You
been
winning.
17 years. I don't think I've ever been asked that question.
Yeah, she came
Okay,
with it.
hold on. I got to think.
I love
because
this.
I've definitely been in that space.
Mhm.
In 2016, it was kind of that time of my life where I was just like, all right, I need to take a step back because there are things that are not serving me that I gotta look at the bigger picture and go, what do I need to X out and take out,
Yep.
right? And it was really close. You know, like a fire, a little lantern, it'll like turn down and it's like just barely flickering. Like that's what I felt like. So for me, I guess I'll just list what I did to help myself, and maybe
Okay.
that'll help. But
Awesome.
I did that. I took inventory of everything in my life that was going on, people, friends, things that I was doing, and I was like, nope, can't do that anymore. Nope, can't talk to them anymore. Nope, this isn't right. And it's not a personal thing, like to somebody else. Like I hope that they didn't take it personal, but it was a personal thing for me. Like
Yeah.
I can't. I gotta move on and elevate above this, whatever this was. So I did that. I went to therapy.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the biggest helpful things I did because I'm a person that I keep a lot of things in my head, and if it's, I don't obsess over it, but it just fills up space, right? It just clutters the mind. So being able to go to therapy and talk things through and talk things out, then it was gone. I left it there in
Thank
that
you for
room.
sharing this, by the way.
Yeah, I left it there in that room, and it really helped me to be able to leave the old clutter and leave space to bring in new thoughts and new ideas and positive energy and new goals for my life. And so I think that really helped. And I also, not everybody loses their spark in this way, but I cut off dating. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore until I feel like I'm ready and that I'm set and that I know who I am. So I took the time to really get to know myself. I took the time to really just focus on my family and the love that I already had in my life. I was like, my nieces love me, my mom loves me, my dad loves me, my brother loves me, my fans love me, the rest of my family, my friends. And I was like, I have so much love in my life.
Yeah.
If I'm ever going to do that again, they got to be able to.
They got to match that.
Yeah, they got to add that. They got to be able to add to that. But I guess to say, I think focusing on yourself and looking inwards is the key. Like, you're not going to find the spark that's going to sustain you outside of yourself.
Okay. Yeah.
So you have to look inwards. Do you love yourself enough? Do you think you can do it? Do you believe in yourself? We're the person that we're with 100% of the time.
Yeah.
So we got to talk to ourselves that way, and we got to speak to ourselves that way. That's actually the lesson that we're trying to instill in our son right now, because sometimes he'll say things and we're like, why would you say that?
Right.
You don't want to talk to yourself that way. We don't say that about you, so why would you say that about you, you know? And so I think that's really important. You have to look within and be willing to not be afraid of all facets of yourself.
Yeah.
Because there's the part that we show everybody, right? But then there's the part that we hide, but even we don't say hello to them, you know? And so we kind of have to look at that part of ourselves and go, okay, what can I nurture here? And why is it like this? And why does it stay like that? Because it's still us, you know? So I think that you have to look inward that way. And then you are who you surround yourself with. So the 5 people that you're around all the time, you got to take inventory of them and how they make you feel. If you walk away from that interaction, are you feeling zapped? Are you feeling uplifted or buzzing? Or are you feeling sapped and drained?
Very important. That's very important.
Yeah, you got to look at those things, because all of those things contribute to your well-being and how you view yourself. So I think that that's also key. Books. Read books.
Something I've been doing a lot lately. I haven't done that in a long time, but that helps. Yep, I agree.
Read your books. Work your mind. Do something that maybe you thought people would think was weird if you did it, but do it for yourself because you like it, you know, like you have to do those things for you because nobody else is going to do them for you.
Yeah.
And then I guess if somebody said that, I would probably give them a hug.
Wow.
I'd give them a hug.
No, but thank you for sharing that. I think that's so important, because since 2020, you know, when COVID hit, we learned a lot about mental health. It really came to the forefront. And how do we cope with that, not just within ourselves, but with people around us? Yeah. And we have to have a strong foundation. You're so important about that. But I'm glad you worked through that, you pushed through that. Now you got this new single that's out. Boop, boop. So with all that's happening, what's next? I mean, I know there's more records to come. Are we going to see a tour? Let the world know what's going on next for Jordin Sparks.
Okay, so.
Look at the excitement. Okay.
I'm very excited. So this next half of the year, I am next week doing like a little East Coast run. So I'm doing a show in New York, in DC, and in Philadelphia. So I'm really, really looking forward to doing that. I haven't done my own live show in a while. So I'm really looking forward to doing my songs and my hour-long set and seeing my fans. So I can't wait to do that. Later on, I also have a new show coming out called Roller Jam, and it'll be on Max, streaming on HBO Max. I'm the host, and it is a skating competition show. So, like, you know, if you go to the roller rink,
rink. So you skate?
I did not put on a pair. I wanted to, but they were like, no, you got to wear the heels with your dress. So I was like, okay, no problem.
You're like, all right.
But I would go to a rink called Great Skate when I was younger. Like, that was the place we would go for like school trips and birthday parties. And so I definitely have a love of skating. I just haven't put on a pair of skates in a very long time. But it inspired me to want to do it again. And I think a lot of people who are going to watch this show are going to feel the same way. It's just so much fun, and it's so fascinating to see these crews come out, and they're dancing amazingly well, and they're on skates.
Yeah, and they're doing it on skate.
Yeah, and so these crews are competing for $150,000. So it is, it's a big prize.
You're gonna make me put my skates back on. 150.
Come on, season
what
2.
We talking
are
about?
we gonna see you season 2? Let's
you
go.
might have to.
But I'm really excited. Chip and Joanna Gaines created the show, and it'll be airing this fall. I think it premieres October 10th. So please keep your eyes out for that. As well as I have I always, Christmas is my favorite time of the year. So I got some Christmas gifts for everybody coming up here. And then just more shows. Usually I would say October, things get really busy. Like the calls come in for like, hey, can you do this Christmas tree lighting and do all these things?
Yeah.
So I think that I'm waiting for those things to come. I know that they're going to come.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to get pretty busy. And then my goal for, this album, I want to tour this album. When you listen to it, there's a lot of live instrumentation. It's really fun. It's really upbeat, and it's going to be a really fun album to tour with. So my goal is to go international. I want to see all my fans I've never seen. I've never toured over there by myself before. So I'm really looking forward to seeing my international fans as well. So,
well, I know that's going to happen.
Big
Look,
dreams.
Between 2007 to now, the way the music industry has changed, and the way you can get your reach to people across the country. Just a click of a button now. So
exactly.
I can see you touring the world doing your thing.
Thank you. Me too.
And that light that we need. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
I just want to thank you so much for stopping by. Congratulations once again on everything.
Thank you.
And your energy is amazing.
Thank you. I hope you guys can feel it.
They
Sending
definitely
it to
do.
everybody. Yes.
New single, remember, make sure you peep that. And she got the whole project on the way, and I'm excited for you. And once again, congratulations on everything.
Thank you for seeing me. Thank you for sitting with me.
All right, let's get it. It's K-Day.